In this presentation, we are going to discuss one problem based on modeling of electrical systems. So, let's get started. Find the transfer function of the following network. One electrical network is given to us, and if we observe this network, we can see that there are four elements. The first element is the resistor R1. The second element is the capacitor C. The third element is the resistor R2. And the fourth element is the inductor L. The input voltage is VIT and the output voltage, which is measured across this inductor, is V out of T. And we need to find out the overall transfer function of this electrical network. So I want you all to observe this network carefully, pause this video and try this problem on your own. And if you are able to do it, let me know in the comment section. I hope you are done. So moving on to the solution. Firstly, we will model this network into its equivalent signal flow graph, and then after that we will apply the Mason's gain rule in order to find out the overall transfer function. So in order to convert this network into its equivalent signal flow graph, firstly we have to count the number of variables. So what will be the number of variables in this electrical network? Yes, it will be equal to 5. The first variable is the input voltage VIT. The second variable will be the current in this loop. The third variable is the voltage at this node. The fourth variable is the current in this loop. The fifth variable is the output voltage. So now we can say that the number of variables in this electrical network is equal to 5, and hence we will have 5 nodes present in its equivalent signal flow graph representation. This node is Vi of S, which is the Laplace equivalent of VIT, and this node is V out of S, which is the Laplace equivalent of V out of T. Now in this problem, we will not name the nodes which are present between this input node and the output node. We will just connect the nodes with the branches and form the equivalent signal flow graph. And we know that in order to draw the signal flow graph directly from the electrical network, firstly we have to draw the forward path, and then after that we have to draw the feedback path. And the branch gains of signal flow graph are either admittance or the impedance of these elements in alternate form. So if we join these two nodes with a branch, then the branch gain will be the admittance of this resistor. So we will have the branch gain equal to 1 over R1. Similarly, if we connect these two nodes, the branch gain will be the impedance of this capacitor. So we will have the branch gain equal to 1 over SC, since the impedance of this capacitor will be equal to 1 over SC. Now, if we join these two nodes, the branch gain will be the admittance of this third element, which is this resistor. So we will have the branch gain equal to 1 over R2. Since the impedance of this resistor is R2, the admittance will be 1 over R2. And lastly, if we join these two nodes, then we will consider the impedance of this inductor as the branch gain. So the branch gain will be equal to SL. In this way, we are done with the forward path. We will now move on to the feedback paths. And we know that the last element from which we take the output represents only one forward path. It does not represent the feedback path. So if we want to connect these two nodes with a negative feedback path, we have to consider the admittance of this element. So the negative feedback path between these two nodes will have the gain minus 1 over R2. Similarly, if we join these two nodes, now we have to consider the impedance of this element, which is equal to 1 over SC. So the branch gain of this feedback will be minus 1 over SC. In the same way, if we connect these two nodes with a negative feedback, now we have to consider the admittance of this resistor. So we will have a negative feedback of gain 1 over R1 between these two nodes. And this is the complete signal flow graph of this electrical network. And we have drawn this by the use of shortcut method. Now, as we have the signal flow graph, we can now apply the Mason's gain rule in order to find out the transfer function. So applying the Mason's gain rule, firstly we have to calculate the forward path gain P1, which is the product of these four branches. It will be equal to 1 over R1 multiplied with 1 over SC multiplied with 1 over R2 multiplied with SL. So if we take the product, we will have the forward path gain equal to 1 over R1 R2C. Now we will calculate the loop gains. So we have 3 loops present in this signal flow graph. The loop gain L1 is the product of these two branches, which is equal to minus 1 over R1 multiplied with 1 over SC. So it will be equal to minus 1 over R1 SC. The loop gain L2 is the product of these two branches, which is equal to 1 over R2 multiplied with minus 1 over SC. So it will be equal to minus 1 over R2SC. In the same way, the loop gain of this loop L3 will be equal to the product of these two branches. It will be equal to SL multiplied with minus 1 over R2. So it will be equal to minus SL over R2. Moreover, we can see that this loop L1 and this loop L3 are non-touching loops. So we have a pair of non-touching loops present in this signal flow graph. In this way, we are now done with the calculation of forward path gain and the loop gains. We will now move on to the calculation of determinant of SFG. Moving on to the calculation of determinant of SFG, we have delta equal to 1 minus of individual loop gains plus sum of products of all possible combinations of two non-touching loops and so on. In this signal flow graph, we have 3 individual loops. So the addition of 3 individual loops will be L1 plus L2 plus L3. Moreover, in this signal flow graph, we have a pair of non-touching loops L1 and L3. So the product of these two loops will be L1 multiplied with L3. Since we do not have any 3 non-touching loops, so the gains of 3 non-touching loops will be equal to 0. And hence, all the other factors in the determinant of SFG will be equal to 0. Now, if we put the values of loop gains in this equation, we will have delta equal 1 minus of minus 1 over R1 SC plus minus 1 over R2 SC plus minus SL over R2 plus minus 1 over R1 SC multiplied with minus SL over R2. In this term, we can see that this S in the numerator and this S in the denominator will get cancelled. Moreover, if we take minus sign as common from these 3 terms, we will have delta equal to 1 plus 1 over R1 SC plus 1 over R2 SC plus SL over R2 plus L over R1 R2C. Now, in order to simplify this equation, we need to take the LCM. So what will be the LCM of these 5 terms? Yes, the LCM will be R1 R2CS. And if we take the LCM, we will have delta equal to R1 R2 SC plus R2 plus R1 plus R1 CS squared multiplied with L plus SL over R1 R2 CS. We can see that the LCM is R1 R2 CS. So this term 1 will be multiplied with R1 R2 CS. Moreover, if we divide the term R1 SC with R1 R2 CS, we will have R2 left, and hence the numerator of second term will be R2. Similarly, if we divide R2 SC with R1 R2 CS, we will have R1 left, and hence the numerator of third term will be R1. In the same way, the fourth term is R1 CS squared multiplied with L, and the fifth term is S multiplied with L. And this is the determinant of our signal flow graph. We will now move on to the calculation of associated path factor. If we observe the signal flow graph carefully, we can see that the number of isolated loops will be equal to 0. Because if we erase the forward path, the number of loops will be equal to 0. So we have the value of del1 equal to 1. Because we know that if the number of isolated loops is equal to 0, then the value of associated path factor with respect to that path is equal to 1. So now we are done with the calculation of forward path gain, the loop gains, the determinant of SFG, and the associated path factor. We will now put all these values in the Mason's gain formula in order to calculate the overall transfer function. So we have Vouts over Vis equal to P1 multiplied with del1 over delta. And if we put all the values, we will have Vouts over Vis equal to L over R1 R2C over R1 R2 SC plus R2 plus R1 plus R1C S squared multiplied with L plus SL over R1 R2 CS. The forward path gain P1 is L over R1 R2 C. The value of associated path factor del 1 is equal to 1, and this is the determinant of SFG. Now we can see that this term R1 R2C and this term R1 R2C will get cancelled, and this S will come to the numerator, and if we solve this, we will have Vouts over Vis equal to S multiplied with L over S squared LCR1 plus S multiplied with R1 R2C plus L plus R2 plus R1. And this is the overall transfer function of the given electrical network, and we have calculated this by modeling the network into its equivalent signal flow graph and then by applying the Mason's gain rule. I'll give you one homework problem based on modeling of electrical systems, and then after that, from the next lecture, we will move on to the modeling of mechanical systems. Try this problem on your own, and if you are able to do it, post your answers in the comment section. Thank you for watching this lecture. I'll end this one here. See you in the next lecture.